Alright, Conchem, this is Unit 16, and we are doing questions 11 through 13 on the exam review. I know I said it was going to be in the previous video, but I separated it out because the previous video got way too long. So, last three questions, here we go. Number 11, summarize the goal of the titration lab and how the process was accomplished. So the goal of the titration lab was to determine the concentration, so determine the unknown concentration of the hydrogen ion concentration of the hydrogen ions. Basically, you had an acid with an unknown concentration. We wanted to figure that out, and the process was accomplished by neutralizing the acid with a known base. With a known base. Okay, meaning we knew the concentration of the base. Because when H plus equals OH minus, okay, that's what we call neutralization. We'll know it's neutral at that point, and if we know exactly how much hydroxide we've added, then we know exactly how much of this hydrogen ion we have neutralized. And we can then go backwards and figure out, if we know how many hydrogen ions are in the acid, we can divide that by we can use the volume to determine its overall concentration. Alright, so we're going to use that formula, and the formula for concentrations and volume is M1 V1 equals M2 V2. We're going to use those formulas to solve the following problems. And the clue that you have that this is the equation that you need to use of the three equations that we get on the board is that the equation has units of concentration, or a variable for concentration, as well as variable for volume. And when we read the problem, it's talking about molarity, or concentrations. Over here they actually give us a molarity, and then it's also giving us volumes. So when you see those two things, volume and concentration, you know that you use this formula. Okay, so they're saying, what is the molarity? In other words, M1 is what we're solving for, of a hydrochloric solution if 25 milliliters of it, so 25 milliliters, is diluted by adding 40 milliliters, and this is actually going to be our V2, but I'm going to put it first, okay, times the concentration of that base, which is 0.4. Okay, so, and this would be molar. So in order to get M1 by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 25 milliliters. There we go. It's going to cancel out on the left, so we're going to be left with just molarity of the original solution equals, and then we do the math here, 40 times 0.4 divided by 25. Notice that the milliliters are going to cancel out, and we are going to get an 0.64 molar. Okay, again, that's 0.64. Okay, molar. Now let's do that again. This time it says I have 43 milliliters of a 1.75 molar sodium bromide solution. If I dilute that until the volume of the solution is 150 milliliters, what will the molarity be? So notice again, 43 milliliters, that's going to be our V1. 1.75 molar is going to be our M1. Okay, they're the initial molarity and the initial volume, so M1 and V1, and then if I dilute the NABR until the volume is 150 milliliters, so that's my V2, okay, what will the molarity be? So we're solving for M2 in this case. So M1 is 1.75 molar. Yeah, so our M1 is going to be 1.75 molar. We're going to multiply that times the volume, which is 43 milliliters. Whoops. 43 milliliters. Again, that's our V1 over here. And then that's going to equal our M2, which is what we're solving for, times our V2, which is 150 milliliters. We want to get M2 by itself. We're going to solve for M2, so we're going to divide this side by 150 milliliters to cancel that out. And then we have to divide the left side by the same value, 150 milliliters. Notice the milliliters cancel out. So our M2, I'm just going to flip the two sides here, so our M2 is going to equal 1.75 times 43 divided by 150, which is going to give us an answer of 0.5, and don't forget your units, molar. Okay, and we can even put the substance here, sodium bromide. Okay, double check. You can always double check your answer and say, okay, is this really a reasonable answer? Well, our original concentration was 1.75 molar, at a volume of 43. We diluted it up to 150 milliliters, right? And so that's almost like triple the volume of what we originally started with. So that means that we've diluted it, the concentration should go down. If we tripled the volume, that means that the concentration should be about a third of what it originally was, which is about a third of, a little bit different, but it's not exactly 3 times the volume. All right? So good luck studying tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for the test.